American soccer fans, welcome to episode 171 of the USA Soccer Cast. We're bringing you everything about the U.S. national teams, the players, the leagues, and everything else that impacts the game of soccer in these United States. I'm Donald Wine. The United States women's national team has entered their first camp of the year. Of course, we're talking about January camp. They will play two matches during this camp. First against Paraguay on Saturday, January 24th, tomorrow as we record on Friday the 23rd. And on Tuesday, they will face Chile. And of course, we want to go through the roster and some stuff that is not necessarily swirling around the U.S. women's national team, but what we can look forward to this year from this team as they progress towards World Cup qualifying that will take place at the end of this year. But first, let's talk a little bit about the roster. The roster, of course, this camp occurring outside of a FIFA international window. Clubs are not required to release their players. So as a result, there are no European-based players in this camp. There's also no players from Gotham FC who is competing in the FIFA Women's International Club World Cup thing that is starting up at this weekend, I should say, in London. So with those teams out of the way, this is still an opportunity for Emma Hayes to kind of combine experience with giving some younger players one last opportunity to kind of show and train and play and give their last statement as to why they should be included on teams moving forward. So let's talk about this roster very quickly. Let's start with the goalkeepers. 26 players on this roster. Claudia Dickey, Mandy McGlynn, and Jordan Silkowitz are your three goalkeepers. Defenders, you have Jordan Bugg. Avery Patterson was named to the original roster, but due to an illness, she had to withdraw. She was replaced by Ayo Oke. Izzy Rodriguez, Tara Rudd, formerly Tara Mickione, Emily Sams, Giselle Thompson, Kennedy Wesley, and Kate Wiesner. Your midfielders, Croy Bethune, Hal Hirschfeld, Claire Hutton, Riley Jackson, Lola Bonta, Sally Minty, Sam Meza, and Olivia Moultrie. And finally, your forwards, Maddie Dalian, Jamise Joseph, Trinity Rodman, Yasmin Ryan, Emma Sears, Allie Sintner, and Rylan Turner. There's no Sam Coffey on this roster. She was with the Portland Thorns. She recently made a move to Manchester City, so she was not named to this roster because that move was already in the works. Sophia Wilson and Mal Swanson, they're working their way back into fitness after giving birth last year. So 2/3 of Triple Espresso not in camp, but the final third, Trinity Rodman, is in this camp. After only having one appearance in 2025 due to back issues, she is back, and she is fresh off signing a new deal with the Washington Spirit that will keep her here in DC for 3 more years. It's the largest paid contract in NWSL history, and at an average of $2 million per year. She is the highest paid player in all of women's soccer. Congratulations to Trinity. I, for one, am super excited that she is going to continue her career right here with the Washington Spirit. She will be the captain against Paraguay tomorrow. And today in the Match Day -1 press conference, Emma Hayes said that she's going to have 2 completely different starting lineups for both these games. She will have 11 for one, 11 for the other. She will max out on the subs in both matches, including only playing some players 45 minutes. And that's, again, to get all these players kind of rotating. Everyone's in their preseason mode, so she doesn't want to get any injuries going on here. She also wants to be able to evaluate everybody as much as possible and giving everybody an opportunity to play and, again, give that last impression as we enter this year. I want to take a quick break because on the other side, we have some sound from Emma Hayes from when the roster was released about her plan to get moving towards World Cup qualifying at the end of this year. And we'll kind of talk about the schedule coming up. How is this going to be the start for the U.S. women's national team in 2026, a pivotal year for the women's national team. So we will be right back here on the USA Soccer Cast. Hey everyone, are you looking for the latest gear for your U.S. national teams, Major League Soccer, the NWSL, or any other team in the world of soccer? The USA Soccer Cast has affiliate partnerships that are ready to help you out. Head to linktree.com/USA Soccer Cast, where we have links to Homage, Fanatics, the MLS Store, and Breaking Team. You can get the jersey, shirt, hat, or accessory you're looking for to support your team while also saving some money and helping this show in the process. Again, linktree.com/USA Soccercast. Click on the links and get your gear. And we thank you as always for your support of the show. We are back. We are talking about January camp for the U.S. women's national team. And of course, when the roster is released, Emma Hayes so graciously gives her time to answer questions from the media. I was able to ask her a couple of weeks ago when this roster was released about the plans for the year. January camp is the start of a new year, and you kind of get a chance to look forward and see what this whole year is going to look like for the program. And I asked Emma Hayes about what this means in regards to her roster, because the CONCACAF W Championship, which will be during the November-December window, the very last window of the year, that will serve as both World Cup qualifying for 2027 and Olympic qualifying for 2028. Of course, the women's national team does not need to qualify for the Olympics because we are hosting the Olympics, but they do need to qualify for the Women's World Cup next year. And so I asked what she wanted to do as far as evaluating talent and eventually getting down to what she feels is her strong roster. So here's what she said about that. Thanks, Hive. Hi, Emma. Happy New Year to you. Obviously the first January camp is always kind of a way to look at the entire year. We know you have qualifying at the end of the year, and as you start evaluating players, there's going to be a point where you have to start narrowing down. Have you thought about how that process is going to go and when you will start to hone in on your players that you will take to the CONCACAF W Championship?
What I've learned in this job is you can only pick the players that are available. That's the first thing. I think it's pretty fair to say that, going into She Believes, that'll be whittled down. Like, if without question, I will pick the strongest possible rosters going from February onwards that I believe that the group of players that are going to be competing for that group in November, December time. So I would say almost immediately. Starting from this year, I'm picking the players that I think will be competing to play within that group.
And our thanks to U.S. Soccer for that sound from Emma Hayes. Now, she mentioned that this is going to be the last window where she's evaluating and that she wants to, barring injury, take her strongest team to every single window moving forward. Of course, we have She Believes next month, really in May. And then we also have windows in April, June, October, and of course, November will be the CONCACAF W Championship. So the fact that she's basically saying, this is my last chance to evaluate before I start bringing who I think is the strongest, that is interesting. Compare that to Mauricio Pochettino on the other side, on the men's side, who did evaluations of players all the way up to October and then only really had the November window and this upcoming March window to tinker with combinations before he names his final roster for the World Cup in May. Emma Hayes has She Believes beginning on March 1st against Argentina, got matches on March 4th against Canada, March 7th against Colombia, but she wants to bring the strongest squad she can to that camp and the camp after that, which she kind of slipped today. That's at least going to be one match featuring the U.S. facing Japan, which I think is going to be amazing. As they get ready for World Cup qualifying, as they prepare for this CONCACAF W Championship, where they could face a decent team in that quarterfinal game to try and qualify for World Cup, they want to get players back into the fold. The rest of Triple Espresso is coming. There's going to be a time for some of these younger players to compete for spots, but they're going to have to be a part of this strong 23 or 26 players. And for Emma Hayes, the focus is going to shift from evaluation to on-field results. It's time to produce. And it's not that they weren't doing that last year, but that wasn't the sole primary focus. it will start to become that as this year goes on. We of course want to win, she believes, but there's not going to be an evaluation focus as we get into the fall. It's going to be who are the players that I can bring that can get us to the final and win the CONCACAF W Championship and in the process qualify for the Women's World Cup. And then right after that, it's going to be okay, who are the strong lineup that's going to go to Brazil if we qualify for the World Cup and win the whole thing. That's what it's about. And so it's going to be about results in the field. I know they're going to be trying to schedule some serious dynamite opponents to trying to get this team an opportunity to show that they are the best in the world. And I like that about this team. I like the fact that there's going to be competition. The season is going to be the club season for all these players is going to be super important as they continue to stay fresh, to continue to improve their games against the best talent that this planet has to offer. And again, Emma Hayes is going to be watching all of this. She's watching the players in Europe. She's watching the players in the NWSL every week. She's traveling all over the place to make sure that she has the time to communicate with them about what she's seeing and what she needs to see for these players to be successful when they come into national team camp and for this team as a whole to be successful. So that all gets started with these games against Paraguay tomorrow and against Chile on Tuesday in Southern California. So we're really excited to get the year started off with some soccer, and I'm glad in a year that's going to be very much focused on the Men's World Cup. It's awesome that the women's national team gets us all started. The best team, in my mind, in the world is going to get this whole year started for us. So with that, that will do it for episode 171 of the USA Soccer Cast. Thank you for listening. Remember, you can find us on Blue Sky, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow us on all of those sites at USA Soccercast. Subscribe, rate, and review our shows. It helps us get in front of new people, and it's greatly appreciated. Tell your friends about us. Finally, head to linktree.com/USA Soccercast to check out our affiliate links and our Stabilist store. We have everything you need to watch the beautiful game and follow your teams. And using these links also helps support the show. We'll talk to you again soon, y'all. Peace.